Hello again. This is Dr. June Phelps from Avenues of Counseling and Mediation. I'm a clinical psychologist and I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about tips to help you sleep. This is our second segment in a 6-segment series, providing you with some help during this challenging time to fall asleep if you're having trouble and to stay asleep if you're having trouble. Okay, so today we are going to talk about routines, and let me go to the slide. Sleep routines that really matter, that help to support you falling asleep. Most of the information that I'm providing with you today comes from a type of therapy called cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia. And this therapy has a lot of evidence supporting its efficacy, its helpfulness for people who are having trouble falling asleep. So we want to provide this information, particularly right at this point in time in our history, with us dealing with the pandemic, to help you. Okay, so the first point I want to emphasize is the importance of sticking with a pre-bed routine. Our brains are very sensitive to cues. And one way that helps our brain know to move from a conscious state to an unconscious state, to a sleep state, is through patterns. So if we have the same pre-bed routine every single night before we go to sleep, this kind of tells our brain that it's time to be in a sleep state. So whether it's brushing your teeth, washing your face, taking a shower, maybe reading a little bit before bed, whatever it is, do the same routine every night before you go to sleep. And this prepares your brain and tells it it's time to move from a certain brain rhythm to a brain rhythm that's associated with sleep. Okay, so second tip for this particular segment. Do not look at screens, whether it's your computer screen, your phone, a tablet. Try to avoid screens during that hour before you fall asleep. This is pretty important because the light that's emitted from our screens, unless we have special protections on our screens, can interfere with falling asleep. Human beings follow circadian rhythms. We're very sensitive to light and darkness, and the light emitted by your computer, by a tablet, by your phone, can affect your brain, and it can make sleep more difficult when you're trying to fall asleep within a short period of looking at a screen. Third tip, reduce news consumption before bed. In general, we have a tendency to want to relieve stress and uncertainty by constantly looking at the news, seeing what news articles are out, informing us of new information about how to respond to the coronavirus in our nation, our state. It's helpful to gather that news, but we don't want to constantly be looking through the news to try to resolve all uncertainty, because that's not going to happen. But reading news right before you go to bed will stimulate your brain, will put you into a problem-solving mode, and it's not conducive for falling asleep. So you want to reduce your news consumption in general, maybe to no more than a half hour to an hour each day. And you certainly don't want to be doing that right before you go to sleep. Okay, so now to our fourth point. Try to go to bed at the same time and get up at the same time every day. This is really maybe my most important point. Once again, I mentioned to you before that the brain is very affected by patterns, okay? And it knows when to fall asleep based on just continuity in your patterns of behavior. So if you go to sleep at the same time every night, and just try this for a week and see if it doesn't help. Your brain learns that, let's say at 11:30 at night, that's when you tend to go into a sleep state. And it begins to you begin to feel more fatigued around that time, and you've prepared your brain that this is the time to fall asleep, and that helps your brain know to move from a conscious state to an unconscious state. Okay, so you want to go to bed at the same time every night. Likewise, you want to get up at the same time every morning. And so if you need around 7 hours, let's say, to have a good night's sleep. And most adults need between 7 and 8 hours to fall asleep, though there's individual variation. Let's say you go to bed at 12 and you get up at 7. Okay, so you're giving yourself 7 hours, or maybe you'll give yourself 7.5 hours. So you want to set your alarm. If you go to bed at 12, you want to set your alarm for 7 o'clock or 7:30 in the morning. And you want to get up as soon as your alarm goes off. You don't want to hit the snooze. And you want to get up no matter how much you've slept the night before. So people will say, well, what if I've just slept a couple of hours? The tendency is to hit your snooze or to just turn off your alarm and try to sleep more. And in our situation, for some of us where we're working at home, we have the ease to do that. But it really actually undermines us when we do that. What we want to do is, no matter how much we sleep the night before, to still get up at the same time. Okay? Very important to set a rhythm for our brains. It's hard to do, but don't hit the snooze, don't continue sleeping. Get up when your alarm goes off and go to bed at the same time the following evening. So sometimes people say, well, if I've only slept a couple of hours during the night, I'm going to take a nap during the day. Unfortunately, and this leads us to our last point, naps that are more than 15 minutes, research has shown, reduce our sleep drive at night. So we want to cut out naps, if any naps over 15 minutes, in order for us to feel a desire to sleep at night, a drive to sleep at night. So even if you haven't slept well the night before, I want you not to take a nap longer than 15 minutes. A nap shorter than 15 minutes will give you a sense of rest. You won't feel so groggy when you come out of that nap, and it won't rob your sleep drive. Better yet, don't nap, and then see what it's like that following night. You'll be more likely to fall asleep. Okay, so these are my tips to help you fall asleep. This is segment 2 of a 6-segment series on ways to help you fall asleep. Okay, Dr. June Phelps, clinical psychologist from Avenues of Counseling and Mediation. And the next segment we're going to be, I'm going to be sharing with you is segment number 3. And so look out for it. Okay, thank you so much. Have a great day.